Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanTrucks.com. Today we're taking a closer look at and installing the MSD Coil Packs in red, available for the 2011 to 2014 3.5 liter EcoBoost F150. You should be checking out this 6-pack if you're in need of a new set of coil-on plugs. Now these are going to be a direct fit replacement for your 3.5 EcoBoost, but they are going to be a pretty good upgrade over the factory coils. Now if your EcoBoost is suffering from a misfire, chances are it may be a coil-on plug that's gone bad or a spark plug. Either way, it's a good idea to pick up an entirely new set of coil-on plugs, but at the same time, you might as well upgrade, right? This particular set from MSD not only looks pretty good under the hood in the red finish, but they're also going to boost voltage output and improve spark energy on your EcoBoost, which will actually translate into a small increase in mid-range power on the RPM band. These are going to be a much more efficient coil-on plug compared to your factory coils, thanks to MSD's new technology and their patent technology on their primary and secondary windings. Now visually, these aren't a ton different than your factory coils aside from the red finish and the MSD name right on top there, but it's inside that makes all the difference. And like I said, you can even expect a small bump in power at the mid-range. Whenever you're doing spark plugs on your EcoBoost when it comes time for routine maintenance, it's not a bad idea to pick these guys up too, and vice versa. If you're swapping out the coils, it's a good time to just swap the plugs out too, since you're already there. You might as well get the 100% of the job done. This coil pack from MSD does come as a complete kit. You'll get all 6 for your EcoBoost. It comes in right around the $250 mark. The install, of course, gets 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. They're built to, like I said, be a direct bolt-on replacement, so all you have to worry about is the one 8mm bolt holding it on, pinching out that connector, pulling them straight back, and it's as easy as swapping them out. The rest of the coil-on plug kit, when you do install it, does come with that weather strip sealant to make sure no moisture is getting in. This is a really high quality pack. It's pretty much the exact same quality material and fitment as your factory coils, so you don't have to worry about anything there. Now, as far as getting those installed, it'll take you about an hour from start to finish, maybe not even that, because it is so darn simple. I'm gonna take you through every step of the process from start to finish. Let's get to it. Tools used in this install include a 1/4-inch ratchet, small extension, 8mm socket, and a flathead screwdriver. Now before you jump into doing your coils, guys, grab an 8mm socket, remove the negative cable from the terminal on your battery. Want to be safe. Of course, this is step number 1. So we've got our socket here. Just gonna loosen this guy up. Pop it off. All right, just gonna bend that out of the way. You wanna make sure this is not going to touch anything metal. You can tuck it right behind that wire there and it's safe. Once that terminal's disconnected, guys, you're gonna disconnect the harness connecting to your factory coils. We're gonna start here on our passenger side, disconnect all 3, then use that same 8mm socket to remove the 1 bolt holding on each pack, pop them out, replace our new ones, put those in there, reconnect, and then repeat. So let's do that now. We're gonna disconnect the 3 harnesses and then we'll move forward. All right, so with these harnesses, there's 1, 2, and 3 back there. You're gonna lift up on the red locking tab. You're basically gonna push up on the red locking tab, and you may wanna use a flathead screwdriver for this. Just like that. From there, you can pinch and disconnect. You're just gonna push down right there, pull up and disconnect. Perfect. Do the same thing for the other 2 on this side. All right, grab your 8 socket. I'm gonna use a small extension here too to make life a little easier. We're just gonna pop off this little bolt here. Once you get it loosened up, you can usually just get it out by hand. All right, once that's out of the way, grab that coil, pull straight back. All right, do the same thing for the other 2 here. All right, now before we move forward, guys, two things. One, it's always a good idea to replace your plugs anytime you're doing these coil on plugs. Your spark plugs are right underneath, so at this point, if you are replacing your spark plugs, that's gonna come next, of course. We're not, since we're just focusing on the coil on plugs for this video. And second thing, you can repeat for the other side at this point, or you can wait until one side is completely finished before you repeat. That's obviously personal preference. I'm gonna show you guys this passenger side, and then of course, you can just repeat that for the other one. So now that we have these three coils out, let's go on the table and compare these three to some of our MSD coil on plugs. Take a look at the comparison. All right, guys, we got 3 of our 6 factory coils off of our 2011 behind me. It's on the table next to our MSD, 6 of them. So just obviously a quick disclaimer, guys. Obviously 6 of them are included in the kit. We only did take out 3 of them so far. So that's why we have 3 on the table and 6 to my left. Taking a look at the comparison between these two, guys, there's not a whole lot to talk about as far as visual differences besides the color and the logo display at the top here. Obviously the factory coils are black. No real name or engravings on the top here, very basic factory Ford coils, Ford Motorcraft coils. Looking at the MSD, they are finished in red. They have the black weather stripping, of course, the same styling, shape, and appearance as the factory one. They just have that red finish, which does, of course, look good under the hood. And then finally, it has the MSD name and part number right on the top there. Part number makes it easy to search up whenever routine maintenance comes around. If you're replacing these, you already know what to look for, and MSD just lets you rep some of that brand name knowledge. Now the coil itself on the inside is what makes the difference. This boosts voltage output when compared to the factory one. It features the patented MSD signature primary and secondary enhanced windings. That's what's gonna give you a little bit better of a spark and of course increase some of that mid-range power we talked about earlier. Now, that's really the comparison there. This one's got a little bit of an enhanced internal with those windings. It's also gonna just help you overall keeping up with maintenance. The factory ones, we of course know when it comes time for routine maintenance, changing your plugs and coil-ons are always a good idea, but why not go for the upgrade, right? So this is a good way to go with the MSD, and they're affordable at that, which we talked about earlier. The Fitment is all gonna be the same. Weather stripping gives you that good seal so no moisture makes its way in. It's gonna bolt down using the same factory location, the same factory 8mm bolts that we just took off. They'll pop right in and the factory connector pops right on. No need for modification or anything like that. What we're gonna do now is install 3 of these to replace the 3 we took out. And then of course you guys can just repeat that for the other side. What do you say we toss this table out of the way and get started? All right, so now what we can do is take one of our coils. We're gonna slide that into position, making sure the harness is out of the way. Really just gonna seat it all the way in. And what I'm gonna do is actually put all 3 of them in, and then we'll worry about the bolts in a second. Just lift up on those lines, being careful right there. Make sure the harness is out of the way, push down, and they snap right into position. And finally, the one in the back. Just wanna make sure that connector is facing up. Grab the bolts, and we'll set them in place. All right, so I'm gonna grab this 8mm bolt. I'm gonna set it in there. Can use the extension and the socket just to get it going a couple of threads before we grab our ratchet. And do that for all 3. I just find doing everything in 3s makes life a little easier. Just kind of get everything started a little bit, and you can really come back and get it going a little faster. All right, so with all 3 of those in, just gonna tighten them all down by hand. Again, just making life a little easier. Grab your ratchet and finish off the job there. All right, once you have all those tightened down, it's really just as simple as going back, plugging in your connector, and pushing down the locking tab. Finally, repeat for the other side. Well guys, that's gonna wrap up my review and install for the MSD Coil Packs in red, available for the 11 to 14 3.5 EcoBoost F150. This is about $250 for the pack of 6, and you can get yours right here at AmericanTrucks.com.